Everybody, welcome back with the Plat. I am Platypus, and this is my buddy Kage. You might recognize him from his YouTube channel, Kage Tact. Still, is that the name of it currently?
Yeah, I mean, until we end up, having to get another game.
If you're not familiar, first of all, this is a bit of an impromptu episode. This is not this is not exactly the same quality that you could expect when it's me and Bear doing our podcast. Bear is on vacation, so this is like a bonus episode almost. And my new co-host, if in case you're not familiar with him, he is currently the guild leader. I mean, if you look in the game right now, I don't have the game pulled up, but he is the number one guild in the current guild battle as of time of recording this. Your guild, what is the name of your guild again?
It's Jupan Gatana from Rurouni Kenshin.
Jupan Gatana from Horny Kenshin, and so that's who he is, and we're just gonna talk about Persona because he has what me and Bear don't have, and Bear has some foresight, and I've got all the jank, but Kage is really tuned in with like what's actually good in like a min-max optimized standpoint. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to him about that kind of stuff. So yeah, Kage. Welcome.
Oh, this is interesting to finally be on here. I mean, the last time we talked was what, three and a half years ago, and there was Laliette who, well, I think he went to the Shadow Realm.
No, I talk to Laliette every week still, but this is a side note. Me and Laliette talk about like politics and like stuff because we played a game came out called The Bazaar, and we started playing that together, and we've just been in contact since that came out, but. For the audience, me and Kage go back to our previous game, Dragon Quest Tact. Then, we basically were very into it, both content creators. Even though everyone hated him at first, everyone eventually liked him. All right, I think you left that game with everyone liking you until they canceled the game, and then you're a bunch of fucking pussies for leaving, going to the JP version. I hate you all. But doesn't matter. Point is, we had a good time playing that game together. And we didn't really match up on games in a while. He played some Tacticus. I was playing some sort of Convallaria. And now here we are both on Persona 5. And I got to say, when we played Dragon Quest Tact, he was the number one player for a set amount of time in Dragon Quest Tact. So Kage, if he has one, you hear me and Bear joke about it, but like Kage is one of the hardest grinders in any game that he is playing. Any game I've played that he's played, I've never been close to being better at him in any measurable metric other than in Persona 5, there was like 2 hours where I had one thing he didn't have. I don't remember what it was. It was like some rank of, it was like maybe a persona or something you didn't have because you got a different persona the first time. I was like, aha, I have King Frost and he doesn't have King Frost. Fuck you. But
which some people still say that's a mistake that you chose that during that rotation. And it was. But hey,
well, during that rotation, I wasn't even going to use Makoto during that guild boss anyway. King Frost, I use all the time. He's good. Like, it depends. I'll admit. Okay, when I say things are good, it's different than when you say things are good. When I say things are good, it means I'm purposely trying to make a team with budget, super budget stuff, and to see what works within that. So when I'm like King Frost is really good, that's because my team is Soy, Sepia, and Yuki. It's like I'm using like 3-4 stars, and like King Frost is really good there. But yeah, if you're trying to top leaderboards, and it's not Fox Week, then I'm sure King Frost is not the optimal choice in any situation.
And I will say this, the game has thrown a lot of curveballs. It even makes you not want to like use your currency right away because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, look at we had that situation with Melchizedek where if you overclock that unit, you actually did worse because of a bug that was in the game that, well, it's now fixed, but it's just like these are some weird one-off scenarios where you would never think to use that unit at all. And then he turns out to be the meta unit for a week because of an error.
I didn't even know that he had an awakening bug, basically. Which one is that? Is that the guy that does the AoE light attack?
Yes. So he does the AoE light attack, and the bug essentially was if you left him at 0, he had I think it was like 120% damage multiplier for battles. So, I mean, people did well in SOS with him. People did well on guild battles with him. Bear was scratching his head trying to figure out why this unit was being, better than Dominion, because on paper, Dominion is a better unit all around, better buffs. It's a really solid unit to bring in to pump numbers, and this unit was sitting over here just surpassing everything.
Just smashing, all because of a bug. It's funny because I didn't even know about that in that situation. But yeah, I will say when it comes like when they release the personas, I am hesitant. I don't like the time gated nature. I don't mind if it was like tied to an energy and I could then use energy to grind something like the way they had the other ones. But now that it's like literally patch like cadence, I'm like, oh man, I still haven't spent the 400 currency I have right now or whatever it is. I'm like, I'm waiting. I don't know which one I'm gonna want the most. So it's not my favorite way to release personas.
Let me take a look right here, because at least this round, the new ones, it was a lot more cut and dry, because you had,
Well, I got the one guy with the 8 hits because that guy is just like super
That's
cool.
a good one. Yoshi's good. And then after that, Chernobog. Chernobog's going to be for Mesa, because Mesa's going to be in the next patch. That makes sense. And then Lilith, I don't know what you're going to use Lilith for.
That's the one I was so weird because yeah, Lilith came up. I wonder if I could actually do a quick edit here while you talk, and I could actually add the game to this. I think I will do that. So you keep
There you
talking.
All right, I will keep looking here. So, because I have my game open on the other end, I was, outside of schema for Wonder, I don't know like what you would do with Lilith. The only unit I could think of where maybe it would work out is Akechi, because Akechi's almighty, and that's like 7 months away from now. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now,
She just didn't. I read her and I was like, is this as weak as it sounds like? Maybe it really is prep for a unit coming out, right?
because I'm at a disadvantage to some of you guys, because you know me, I don't like to play the other versions of a game. I barely look ahead at times outside of like a favorite character here or there, and I just kind of play to the crowd, which for this version they've been. I know you say this is anti-consumer with how they change the characters, and you're correct to an extent. It's pull bait. They try and get people to go off the track. Like Futaba's coming up after the battle pass ends, and a lot of free to plays are going to be saving for Futaba. So if they could make Mesa a bit more enticable by giving him even more power and getting some of those people to have to spend and then buy, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like having like the unique path, but you're correct that they're looking to kind of shiv people in a way to make an extra dollar and to get some profitability out of a unit that didn't really see it when it had its first run in a different version.
I haven't heard that much come back. Like I haven't seen that much hate about that opinion that I've had, but I do feel like that's an opinion that's very easy for people to misunderstand, where I'm not saying I don't want them to buff units. In fact, I love that they're probably whatever the blood guy coming out, Mesa, they're going to buff him 100%. And if it's not already leaked, and that's going to be cool because I really want that unit because he's a damage over time. That's my favorite mechanic in pretty much all games. So I'm excited for that. I'm just saying that even though I'm excited for it and I want them to do it, it's inherently to boost sales for a character that people are saving for Futaba, like you said. And if they make this character strong enough, some people will go from I'm not pulling to, you know what, I'll throw one multi in, or it's like if everyone throws one multi and then they have one less multi for Futaba or whatever, right? So it does generate them revenue. So that's why I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's not a customer friendly decision, even though keep it up,
Well, yeah, no, because I mean, I get it. They want to make the unit more viable. They're obviously looking at the records. They're comparing some notes, which some games don't even do that. Some games just keep the same path. They follow it through, and then they go, man, why didn't we make any money this quarter? Well, you had two dog water units, and then the best unit you were saving lands on the next quarter, so you weren't going to make any money anyway.
It's so funny because like you will see people the second a game is launching, doesn't matter if it's Sword of Convallaria or whatever, but like if I'm in the Discord because I'm trying to kind of get an idea of what people are talking about before I make content, I'll hear like, oh, I'm not pulling until SP Sophia. I'm like, when's SP Sophia comes out? It's like, oh, she comes out in the 1.5 year anniversary. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? It's like, it's the 6 month unit. It's the 1 year unit. It's the 1.5 year unit. I'm like, I'm not going to pull it all. Then I'm going to A6 her and my then I'm like, but you're not going to have any fun until then. But also then it's like, that's why the company doesn't make any money, right? Because people with really, really good maps of what's coming and exactly what's coming, like they plan their resources very well. They don't have to plan them intelligently, but they tend to, it'll just make less money, which is, it's fine for the company to do that, but that's why I kind of like, I don't like playing a game that's lagging behind. I like people discovering the meta for themselves, every single time a
it's
unit drops.
when you look at it, it's a lot of the fun of this game comes from like just the unknown. Like right at the start of the game, a lot of the meta wasn't established. Like even this week, right now, I think a lot of the top end guilds are trying to figure out what the optimal rotation is for Dominion and for Vishnu because the last time we had those units, we had a lot less to work with. I mean, I don't think we had Phoebe the last time we had Dominion, and now you have Phoebe, you have Joker, you can pair in, and you can even use Smoko and see what type of numbers you can get on those units. And I like when you guys post up your like guides. Like I see like Earphone, a bunch of people, they post up their numbers, what they can do. And then I just laugh to myself because we can do like 80 million more.
Yeah. That's why when I do stuff like that, I'm like, listen, here's what you could place in the top, whatever, 15% with Sapia or whatever. Like some, if you don't have Joker, which everyone has Joker, I think literally 90% of accounts have Joker probably. But like for any other fight, right? I like to come up with like an alternative way to get rewards, but it's not competitive. It's just not. The competition is stiff. For example, just really quick, I couldn't figure out how to pull up the game without screwing up the whole scene. We're not going to worry about it. Everyone will just listen to my beautiful voice. But I autoed the boss fight. I used a suboptimal team and I autoed the boss fight just as a way, because you can't always see how many people enter. But I wanted to see if I get a bad score, how good will I do? Because you play some games like I autoed and I got top 5%. You're like, uh-oh, that's not very good. But I autoed Dominion. I got 10 million points and I'm at 65%. 10 million at launch of the game was really good. Like that was like a pretty good score when the game launched. Like that was definitely a top 5-10%. So people are 100% competitive in this game. You don't get to just if you want to actually compete, be at the top. Off meta builds aren't going to get you there for the most part, unless it's something very rare that someone hasn't thought of.
Well, and it also ties back into what you said about those people who kind of, they play to the extreme meta units and they never pull. Well, those people are not going to be doing very well on guild bosses or SOS because this game, it punishes you if you don't have certain units. Like, look at what happened with Minami. People who missed out on Minami, the amount of like high-end strategies where she was used to like min-max if you had an A1 Minami, because you would heal, and then, that character, that damage dealer, would get a nice buff. And it would correlate to a lot more damage, a lot more points. Plus, Minami can be used for, like, removing debuffs and other things on certain unit fights. There's just a lot of versatility with her. And that really hurt some people. That even hurt some people in my guild, because then we had to find alternatives to kind of counterbalance, getting those numbers up there. And even with doing that, it's night and day. When you don't have like the 5-star, you feel it.
Is it 20% penetration that she gives at A1?
I believe it's 20%. I have to double check, but it's just like, man. And then they did the whole 6-month thing with her, and I'm like,
that I'm telling you, like, that's my least favorite unit, Marion Minami, that they've added to the game. Not because she's genuinely maybe my most used and favorite unit that I have gotten. And I just feel every time I want to use her in a video, it just like people are like, I don't have Marion. I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck to tell you because you can't get her. But like Genbu 5, like anytime there's a hard fight, almost no one, I think currently no one in the game starts a fight. All your characters have 1500 more HP. That's really good for not getting one shot before you get a chance to act. Keeping everyone fully healed with a bunch of extra HP on top of that when she's healing. Lowering their defense, giving people bless. She's so good. She's one of those units that's just so versatile and is just good in so many things. And she's good at turn 0 with the extra HP. I feel so bad that people that don't have her. And I'm happy I didn't listen to all the, just wait. She'll be added to the standard banner in 2 weeks. I'm so happy I just pulled her because I wanted her because she has been incredible all the time.
Well, yeah, no, it's one of those things where people, they were going off a blueprint for the original game, and they kind of paid the price for it. They were like, "Oh, don't worry, it works this way in this other version, and we'll just get it at some point here." And I've talked to people, and they are kind of surprised when I say this, but I'm on your side when it comes to, I know they used whales as an excuse, but I'm on your guys' side when it comes to wanting to pad the standard banner. I don't want to sit there and pull the same 5 characters over and over again with gold tickets.
Yeah.
I want more diversity there. I want Minami in there. I want, Yui and all these other characters in there, because I'm almost to a point where I'm tapped. Like, I've got Rin and Ann to A6 now. It's only a matter of time before they're all done.
I did get Anne to A6. I just got her yesterday. But I am actually... Here's a question that I can't answer, but maybe you can. How much of the exchange currency do they give you when you get a dupe of a character you've maxed out?
70. You get 70.
So you get 700 gems back.
That's you get a decent, yeah.
Or you're gonna get closer to the weapon. I think I was on the weapon train, but now I'm just on the get one of every character if you can, but unless they're an underage girl with their ass hanging out.
Well, I even went and I turned in, like, I normally don't, but I had such good pull luck on my Smoko video. I had the extra currency. I was like, you know what? Let me just grab a weapon, and I think I used it on Florets because I want every character to have their 5-star weapon just to boost my Q score further. So it's like, Floret, it's your turn. You're getting your 5-star.
Yeah. Did you see? I got a dupe because I chose. Basically, I got a dupe of Sapia's weapon. So I'm gonna A6 at R6 his weapon at some point. I never keep it as the main, but I always have it as one of the 2 potential options. I have the weapon I really want for the new character or whatever. Maybe it's not the new character. Like, I just got Yuki's weapon because Yuki is one of my favorite characters in the game. Then I have a weapon I need, and then I always leave one spot for Sapia's weapon there. And at this point, it's just like I maxed out his Mindscape like a week, 2 weeks ago. It's like he's done. And I was like, every time I have a chance to raise his little number is going up. I know you didn't play Sword of Convallaria with me, but it's the Guzman thing. If you played Sword of Convallaria with me, there's this unit called Guzman who, day one, he's the coolest looking unit. People are like, he is the only tier F unit in the game. And the entire time I played the game, people memed on Guzman, and every time I used him, he was so good. I used them in all the content that I ever cleared in the game. He was always good. Maybe not literally top for PvP, but then every time a new progression system came out, day one, I got Guzman rank 13, I got Guzman level 90, I got Guzman with his unique weapon, and people are like, what are you doing? You're lying. I'm like, that kind of stuff just... Sapia is just Guzman for me in this game. He is good. But
okay, as your friend, I worry about you. Like, I kind of get the Mindscape thing, but the weapon thing, come on, Platt. Come on, just work. Get everybody's weapons first.
It'll be that's I have a 75% chance to get a weapon I don't have, and then a 25% chance to get his weapon, because I have the 50% for the main, 25% for one of the other 2. So I'm like, you know what? If God wants me to have Sapia's weapon, he's going to let me roll that 25% chance another 5 times. I'll take it. To be fair, I don't pull on weapons.
About you.
I really don't pull on weapons that much. I probably do less. I probably do 5 individual pulls, not a multi, but 5 singles a patch cycle. That's about it. So it takes quite a while for me to even get there.
Oddly enough, thinking about that now, I'm looking over the characters I have. And it's just once I get to that point where I have everybody's weapon, who would I even want to try and max out their weapon on? Just looking over this list. I mean, would I want to go for Ryuji and max out his weapon?
My first gut would be Anne. Anne's probably the
I
best.
have her. Yeah, no, I have her. She's A6, R6. I maxed her.
Well, there we go. Yeah. Well, that was my gut reaction. So then after that, it's I don't know. Yeah, like you said, Ryuji's good. The thing is, Ryuji's good. I just never feel like anyone uses him for anything.
Well, he's only really used in Tactician 30. You bring him in there, you ramp him up, he takes out those angels, you get a good score, and that's the only time I've ever really used him. I don't even think I used him on the Wonder DPS Mara fight. I'm trying to remember what I actually used for that fight, but I just didn't get a lot of mileage out of him.
Like, I would consider doing Haru, but again, that's for the memes. After that point, it's like none of the 5 stars get that much stronger from like, oh man, you have their A0, their R0 versus their R6. Like, it makes a difference, but I'm not like, I think I'd rather meme it up at that point, you know, just get Sapia's weapon R6 and stuff like that.
Maybe Minami's weapon, because by the time I get everything done,
For sure.
she'll be in this, the standard
Once
pool.
they add that in the standard, I would absolutely pull for that if you don't have it. It's a pretty darn good weapon. I mean, you have it, but I mean, people
I have,
watching don't have it.
I have a a 0, which I actually the thing I like most about Minami is that her like just best tier ability is A1, and they didn't hide it behind like, well, you need A6 to get the 20% pierce. It's like, okay, cool. Save me some money.
100%. Yeah, it's again, she's just continued to be a fantastic unit. So, what are we talking about here? Well, one, what we've been talking, but we've got the guild bosses. Do you want to talk about any of the specific guild bosses? Because I know you were talking about this week is going to be crazy.
So, I mean, essentially this week, last week I think the scores got up to like 7 Bill. I know we're first right now. We're definitely not going to end the season at first. We'll maybe get like 10 to 7, somewhere in that vicinity. But there's a lot more at play this week because we've introduced some new units into the meta, essentially, or into these fights, where looking at it right now, and spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't know, and I'm going to let you guys know this, don't focus on Vishnu. And here's some pro tips for you guys. You're always going to have these 2 fights no matter what. There's going to be one that's going to be your bread and butter score, and you should focus everything on that, even your assist if you can. And then you're going to have like your lesser fight where you're not going to get the better multiplier on it, or if you have the better multiplier, you're still not going to get the damage on it. Like my Dominion score right now is 130 mil, and my Vishnu is 27. It's like it's night and day. How much further could I push Vishnu up? Maybe another 50 mil, to be honest. Maybe. How much further could I push Dominion score up? Probably about another 70, if to be honest, after min-maxing and doing some stuff here, because we have people in the guild, like right now, I've got, like 150, 159 total. My top player has 237 score total. And we haven't even put out strat shit or anything. We're just kind of testing the waters here.
Is it weird because I don't think Seaside Tomoko is even that good for the guild bosses this week, is she? Or is she is Vishnu really good?
So she is good because of the condition for the boss, where you need to bring a guardian or a healer, and bringing her in on one side of the fight and bringing Minami in on the other side of the fight removes that debuff. Because if you don't, you take extra damage, you do less damage. You don't want to go that route. So you want to see what the condition is, and you want to make sure you fulfill it. And I would put Minami on Vishnu's side, because Vishnu does, I think it's intimidation, and Minami removes that debuff to do more damage. So if you have Minami, put her on Vishnu. If you have Smoko, put her on Dominion.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess if you do need to bring a healer, she's the only healer that does AoE stuff, really, right? I mean,
she's great. I mean, just playing around with her, once the sparks hit, if you have like A1, she tops up my team. Like, I can just get beaten into oblivion. It's like, well, she just did her little side effect mid-fight while I'm beating on Dominion, and my guys go back up to full health.
Yeah, I thought she would feel more like a hybrid damage dealer and healer, but she definitely does feel more just like a healer. Now that I've used her a bit more,
because you have her buff, you want to throw her buff on your main damage dealer, and then in between, she has an ability that does make the enemy take more damage. So you do want to throw that up when you can, but she's not going to do a ton of damage on her own. But as Bears mentioned before, when Haru comes out, I'm expecting to see some really good numbers, and I could see how combining Smoko with Haru would do more damage to Dominion than Joker would. I could kind of see that. I'm starting to see how that would work out.
I bet not.
I believe it.
It won't beat an R6 A6 Joker, though. I'm sure. You would probably need an equivalent level Haru to your Joker, right?
You know, I'm gonna find out because I
Yep.
have an A6 Joker, and I'm probably only gonna get Haru to like A1, maybe A2. So I'll find out and see. Somebody in the guild will definitely max out Haru for me. So I mean,
So
I'll be able to kind of play test it. But I am curious because again, there some of the this is based off of stuff that may not be true because those are previous buffs in CN, and we're going to get an enhanced version of Haru. So we may be hitting a bit higher just because of every character. I think every character's been buffed so far. Have they not buffed any character that you're aware of?
I think literally every character, even the launch characters, launched with a little bit of a buff. Like I don't think Lufel initially applied a burn at the start of combat. And that's like pretty minor, but it actually works really well with Key, obviously. So yeah, I think every character has gotten a buff. So overall, you think Seaside Tomoko's been pretty good? Does she feel like a must pull to you, or she feels more like an accessory, like Minami or Seaside Tomoko?
Minami. I mean, let's be honest here. Minami, you can still there's more stuff you can get away with using her on. Smoko, I think it boils down to if you want Haru. If you want Haru, I would probably pull Smoko. I would grab her. If you're gonna skip Haru and kind of just suffer on side damage, then you're going to be punished regardless. I would not take any half measures. You're either go full in or focus on other stuff is probably what I would recommend to people.
That's kind of what I feel as well. Like she seems good, and she might be the best in slot for the meme dream team of Sapia because she wants people to hit 5 times. He hits 5 times. She increases ailment accuracy and attack. His ailment accuracy makes him do more curse stacks. I could go on and on about why I like her in that team specifically, but she feels like a team specific unit where Marion Minami is just like, she's just kind of always good in every team no matter what. I think she's kind of like Soy in that way where it's like, I never have Soy in a team and I'm pissed. I'm like, oh, he doesn't synergize at all. He's like, he lowered their defense by 90%. He knocked him down with his gun 42 times.
I mean, Soy's even gotten better too because of Kira now, because you can reload his weapons. So there may be some new kind of plays with him. I wouldn't say with current Kira. I think you'd have to wait until you get Kira to 17 because right now it's you have to wait 2 turns and then it reloads. But if you only have to wait 1 turn to reload, maybe there's some kind of versatility.
That's the first thing I tested out. Actually, that's what the next topic was going to be. So it's perfect. Was the what you felt about the new confident? It's not called a confident. What's it called? A synergy.
Synergy. Which, to be fair, I wanted the other one that Bear talked up and said we were getting, and then we didn't get. I literally bought like gifts and things, waiting for.
I'm ready.
Puppet. See, but that's the thing, though. That goes back to the hey, we're going off the blueprint of the other version of the game, and Sega is like, no.
I'm so excited. My whole video today that I released, that I released as of recording of this, was just about that. Basically, this is a big buff to Soy. Now, I will say, like you said, rank 17 is good. I thought it would be. I didn't know if it would be at rank 17. It meant every turn. If it counted the turn you were on. And so it's like, oh, takes your gun a turn to reload. If it meant like every turn your gun would be reloaded, but it's every other turn at rank 17, and then it's every like 3rd turn at rank 5, I think it is. So use your gun. Luckily with Soy, there's 2 things about Soy that's annoying, but about it. One, he could use his gun, and then he could use his smash hit to lower defense, and then he could use his ice thing. Then he could use his gun. So he has like a really good 3 skill cycle anyway. But it only reloads 24 bullets instead of his full 42 because 18 of his bullets are from his trait. And even though it fully reloads it, it must not see his trait ammo increase as part of the gun's ammo.
Ooh.
So
okay.
Because he gets 18 bullets from his first trait or whatever. And so it reloads the 24. So I think that must be because the amount of bullets scale with his level. But it's a little weird, right?
I'm kind of curious to see if maybe the rank 17 thing fixes that and it gives the full reload. But see, that's something I didn't know. Like that's okay. That diminishes it a little bit.
It's like a little bit because it's still the gun. I think is mostly for the defense shred and then for knocking things down. The damage itself is good, but it's not like, come on, it's not like a real.
Here's
damage
something to
damage.
also test though is. I'm gonna have to see later on. I'll do a run with him because I already got Cure up to the first reload. Is to see if I wait enough turns, does it fully reload? Does it take like an extra cycle to get the full clip in, or is it always going to be just half the clip because of how the character's built?
No, so because of how the character is built, I think it's a bug, honestly. I think it's a bug because if, like, I was doing this today with, like, Marion, because that's the very first thing I did. And she has 9 bullets. She reloads 9 bullets. Every other character reloads their full clip. And it even says in this skill, takes your character, whatever, 2 turns to fully reload. So it's just some sort of bug specific with Soy, I think. Or maybe it's intentional because his gun does only have 24 bullets and he has a skill that gives it. But come on, they should fix that. It's 3 more shots, which is a big deal, but the reason it's actually annoying is not because of the damage fall off, but it's like this is the only character arguably in the game that gives a shit about the synergy anyway, and it doesn't work as well as it should. Like no one else cares. Like maybe there's a world where it matters on Key because his gun is the only gun that does fire damage instead of range damage. So it's like, because he uses a flamethrower, and it's like maybe with the 30% damage boost, Key could have a single target fire attack that could maybe do something. I don't know, but like it is annoying that it doesn't work as well on Soy.
Plus, the description says it, fully reloads essentially.
Reloads. Yeah. I think mine's up to rank 12 already. I bought all the gifts and I was upset. I didn't realize that they didn't reset every day. So I'm sitting there, it's like you could buy more in a day, but I'm trying to get that up to 17 ASAP.
Oh no, it's weekly. So that's why
oh my god.
I have, so when Puppet comes out, I have multiple yellow gifts for multiple weeks ready to push her because Puppets is essentially everybody gets more synergy from the gifts you give. And I was like, oh, this is great because I'm going to get everybody to 20. It's going to happen.
Event? Yeah, for sure.
I'm running out of stuff to do. I did something stupid this week and I got Kaio to 20 just to get the school uniform.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's smart. I didn't even think about that, but buying gifts in advance because they're weekly resets. I mean, I have like 300,000 yen on my character right now. I could afford to just spend a little bit of money on this because I would have loved to have this guy ranked out at rank 17 already. It's not going to make a difference, but it's the only synergy I think they've added that affects combat. And so,
for the most part, I mean, yeah, there's some stuff with, I think Motoha has, like a regen or something if you ambush an enemy. But
it's like if you ambush an enemy inside of a palace, regenerates some. I'm like, what are you? Shut up! This isn't a thing. This is a blank wall of text you've just sent me.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Motoha. I mostly rank her up because outright for the baseball, which I still haven't really done. So overall, how do you feel about the synergy that they added? Do you like them? You haven't experimented with them too much, you said, right? I'm all about this is my thing. I'm a soy boy,
So you're beating me on everything because I stopped hoarding energy. I got bored with this last update. Like I was trying to find things to do. So I just kept grinding city tasks and doing stuff instead of like hoarding. After I saw Puppet wasn't coming out, I was like, motherfuckers. All right, well, I'm just going to burn all my city energy in cans. And I started working on basically getting every city stat to 17 or higher, which as of right now, my last one's proficiency. Proficiency's at 16, and then every other stat is 17 or higher.
That's so good. I think I'm still on my way because I can't get the bartender. I can't get Phoebe up to her rank 17 yet. I'm stuck on rank 16 on her, but I haven't used any of the awesome tea. My inventory is like 20 awesome teas or whatever. So I'm holding them all until I get to rank 17 and then I'll start using them.
Because right now, just for city days, to give you an idea, I'm at 254.
Let's take a look. You must be higher than me at this point. I've been trying to catch up. I'm at 212. So you are ahead of me by about 40 days, which is a lot. But you don't have any marathon energy drinks?
I've got nothing.
Okay.
Platt, I don't even have any coffee, right? Well, wait, no, I think I have a 30 energy. Let me use that quickly before I have a
quickly. Yeah, I have 84 coffee aid and 20 coffee candies right now. And I'm just like, what do I use them on? Get every character up to 80-80? They're almost there already. I don't think I need to. Cards? I could just wait till I get the... I don't know. I'm not sure what to use it on yet, but
so
I only have 6 marathon energy, but let's take a look at the awesome tea while you say what you were going to say.
Yeah, so basically what I did was, I mean, originally my plan was to get everybody to 80/80 to max out Q score, and then after that got done, I got every character skills to level 8, you know,
That I mean,
and
that's a lot.
now I'm working on cards, and I'm at a point where I have to get some really good rolls to even get a better Q score for the characters I have, because I think I'm at like 250 on a Q score. Let me see.
Yeah. My awesome
But
teas are at 17, by the way. I must have missed one week on the very first week she came out.
yeah, I'm at 250. 250 Q score. If I can squeeze out 6 more points, I get to 251. And that's all I've been doing lately, because there's this last patch cycle was awful. It was what,
Oh,
2.5 weeks?
it was the worst. It's a little. I don't want to say it was the worst patch since the game came out, because I mean they mostly been decent,
The
but it's
wait.
like
It was the wait.
yeah, it was like 2 weeks of like all the content could be done, for you day one. For me, the first 3 days as being much more casual. Like Genbu 5, I spent hours doing with different teams for fun, and that was like all the content. And so it would the summer stuff's kind of boring. I wish they just continued something. Apparently they're going to come out with something called TARDIS, whatever from like Persona
Tartarus,
3.
and then there's
Tartarus.
Astrolab as well, which I'm excited for the Astrolab, because that's going to be utilizing your entire box to be able to like clear stuff.
That's going to be
But
because I mean I'll be set up for life, bro. I'm
but I
ready.
mean, when you mentioned like the content in Genbu, I was doing a live stream, and then after the polls got done, I went and did the boss stuff, right? Well, I was able to clear the last boss with only 3 units.
Yeah.
Like, because I didn't even buy on auto. Like, I was like, oh,
Well,
wait,
it's funny because I know exactly how that happened too, right? Because you're doing the normal stages and they have a trial
yeah.
character, then you hit play next stage and it takes the trial character away, and then you just don't have a character, and you're
And
like,
I'm too lazy
whatever.
to go back. And I'm
I'll
like,
still,
yeah, no, let's see how
I'll
far
still
this
do it.
goes.
Like I beat the Naga yesterday with only 4 stars, because that's gonna be my video coming up, because it's like that fight was way easier than Genbu. I'll say even though Genbu wasn't hard, it was definitely like if you don't read and you don't have really built characters, it definitely
You
could be
pay.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you pay the price. But here it was like, I almost like, I think it was, what did I use? Joker, I think Makoto and Cord, and the fight came down to Cord getting the last hit in to win. But it's just like, I should not have been able to get away with auto with 3
Yeah,
characters on
it's
this.
like what at that point, yeah. Oh, and you don't even mean Joker, you meant Wonder then, right? Yeah, you had Wonder,
Yeah,
Cord, and
Wonder. It
Makoto.
was
And like
Yeah,
that
Wonder,
is
Cord, and Makoto.
that's yeah, that's impressive. It's still like that's why that's the thing about gotchas that bum me out. Like I have a video on like I have multiple videos on like Metaphor ReFantazio about some of the hardest bosses in that game, and they're all so easy to me because I play a lot of JRPGs, especially games like this that require strategy. But it's like I still get comments like this boss is impossible, this boss is impossible, and I'm like, man, I wish there was like actually really 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 hard bosses. I love
See,
hard
here's the
bosses.
thing with Metaphor is the game can be harder if you like limit yourself. Like, I was, to like make the game harder for myself, I was like not really trying to min max the skill tree stuff in the background with all the confidants and everything. I was
Yeah.
just kind of like being very lazy with it, because again, I've played probably just as many, Atlas RPGs as you, if not more, and a lot of them follow the same formula. You could just level up your characters a bit and walk all over everything.
Yeah, the game was like this is where I come. I'm always like these games are always too easy, but that's because as I get older, the games, even RPGs like Final Fantasy X that I thought was really hard when I was younger, like even 17, 18, I'm like this game is easy now. It's just like I think you start to really understand how the numbers work together and how to make turn-based work in your favor. But man, I love Metaphor. That game was so fun, even though I thought
I
it was a little easy.
I will say though that I did play the Raito remaster. I never played the original, and the combat system in that game was a little bit better in terms of like difficulty, because it was like action based, and you had to like shield your persona at certain times to avoid them getting damaged and other things. But even after a while, that one got kind of easy, because then you figured out the patterns, you figured out kind of like what skills to use, and And
Yeah.
at the end, it was just like, oh well, I'm in the same spot I was. But chapter 3 or so, there was some really hard fights before you kind of like got
I
inundated into the game.
A good example that's kind of a game that followed that for me with the exact same thing was like Expedition 33. That game to me started pretty damn hard. Like I played on a harder difficulty, and some people were like, "Oh, I had no problem with it. The game's easy, just dodge everything." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm an old man. It's not easy to dodge everything." So the game was pretty punishing. And then by the time I got to Act 3, I was like, "I'm one-shotting everything, bro." Like because it's every time this is the issue is they have a button. I could complain about this game all day even though I like it, but there's a button that's set on your controller. It says negate all damage. All right, it's the dodge button, the parry button, whatever. It's negate all damage. So at that point I'm like, well, I'm just going all in on damage then, right? And then so you get to a point where you get so many multipliers where you do just one shot everything. And I would play more defensively and get more defensive stuff, but even when I did, I still got one shot because I was playing on hard. So I was like, all right, I got to use the button that says defenses don't matter and only build offense. And then people are like, well,
Kill them before they kill you.
yeah, and people are like, well,
how I play.
why did you build your team so strong to kill everybody in one shot? Of course, this is what I got because I was like, I thought the game was a little too easy and our damage scaled too high at the end. Like, well, of course it scales too high at the end when you use all the powerful stuff. I'm like, well, the devs knew it was possible. They're the ones that made the game.
Look, I got to a point where I was just one-turning everything with Verso and using like his like S rank ability or his light attack, his AoE, and just putting everything into the ground because there were so many multipliers and things you could get. Yeah, after Act 2, the game got easy once you realized, oh, I can do more than 9k damage now.
Yeah, because I was doing 9999. I'm like, I'm excited to see what my damage will be as soon as that takes off.
I was doing millions of damage. I was like hitting for like astronomical amounts. But there were some fights where it kind of didn't matter because the bosses had millions of HP.
And I had like the super boss of the game where I don't want to get into spoilers because it's just like too out of weird. Game, yeah. But there's a super boss,
Cloud Strife.
He has Cloud Strife, and he has basically a second phase, but I completely bypassed the second phase by keeping the boss stun locked. The boss never got an attack the entire time. So I beat the super boss, and on New Game Plus, I beat the super boss again without them ever getting a turn, or like they got one turn at the start of combat. So it's like, yeah, I wish, I don't know how we got onto that specifically, but it's like the game started really difficult and then it just got so easy by the end. A game that didn't do that. This is what I wanted to bring it back to. Persona 3 FES is probably the hardest RPG I've played in my life. I don't know if it's called Fez or FES, but
the one with the female protagonist
I didn't play a female protagonist, so I don't remember there being one, but again, that would have been a 1 second option in the beginning of my 150-hour playthrough. So I honestly don't remember. But like start to finish, that's the one where you do not get to control your party members in combat. I think you can give them strategy. You're like, oh, go all out or play defensive or focus on healing. But they input their own actions with the exact same Persona combat, but with slightly harder. It was you had to learn to play. Like your teammates are trying to get you killed. Like you would knock a guy down, and if there was a guy knocked down and you hit him again, they would like stand back up. It's like you wouldn't so you would like lose your turn. So I had to calculate. All right, I know his AI will have him do this and do that and go through the whole game. And let's just say like Reaper is like the super boss of Personas, or like he's one of like you had to farm him for an hour to 2 hours to get to be strong enough to just beat the game normally. Like the normal final boss was like 100x harder than Reaper was. I thought that was the hardest RPG I've played, and I know Persona 3 Remake is like not as hard, and the Persona
Remake was not hard. I walked all over that. Even the end boss wasn't that bad.
And Persona 3, where you can control your teammates, gets a lot easier because you just have a lot of control over them. But I'm telling you, if you ever want to play a really difficult RPG, the Persona 3 FES edition on the PS2, that game I was like, fuck, bro. That felt like the Dark Souls of JRPGs. It's like, it was a lot of fun though. You played Remake though?
Yeah, no, I played Remake. I liked it. I didn't do the DLC. I just did the base game.
Oh, like the Operation Aegis or whatever it's called?
I didn't get to do any of that. And I was like, man, this game ends on a downer. Like, okay, this is rough. Like, oh.
I bet they tell it a bit better. I feel like I bet they like put a lot of production value into the game. That's what it looks like. Because Persona 3 is a little rough, but there also isn't as much acting and voice acting as you would think. The characters don't interact that much in Persona 3, the original one.
Here's something I want to tie in. It's going to hurt you a little bit, but I tried to go and play like an older JRPG a while back. PlayStation brings them in, and it was Legend of the Dragoon. I'd never played it. I skipped over it.
I love this game.
And
all right,
I know you do, and this is going to hurt you, but it was like I dropped it at some point because I couldn't play it. I needed to have like the remaster work or the touch on these games. Like, could I go back and play Persona 1 or 2 if they came out today in their original format? And I don't think I could. I think they need to like do something with those games. Like even some of the JRPGs I grew up with as a kid, like if Earthbound was now here or Chrono Trigger even had their older systems in play, I don't think I could play them anymore the way they are because I've been spoiled by these like newer games like Raidou and Expedition 33 and even like a separate genre. There's like, I would call it the dungeon crawler JRPG genre where it's similar to what you mentioned with the auto battler for like, P5X. But there was like permadeath involved and other messed up mechanics where you could lose characters forever and then you had to like go back from scratch. And I spent like hundreds of 50 hours into these games, man. There's some brutal games out there that, you don't want to play. And then there's some good ones. Like I think Labyrinth of Yomi was a good one. There was another one, Zangetsu, or like some really messed up dungeon crawlers that had like 18 bad endings and one good one, like Labyrinth of Refrain and Labyrinth of Galeria.
That sounds like did you play Termina? What's it called? It's not called Termina. It's called Fear and Hunger.
I have heard of that game. I will not touch that game. Because I can't level up. I can't grind stuff. I see it. I like the game idea, but that game doesn't let you like. It takes out the traditional leveling system, and as you know, I like leveling.
It is not. They are RPGs, but they are so far away from what maybe the first one's a little bit more, but the second one is so much different. Like it's more like it's like a JRPG roguelite in a lot of ways because like you are not expected to be able to beat the game on your first time when you're trying to. Because here's the thing,
which makes sense.
You're playing it. You meet a crazy ass woodman with the world's longest parasite dick, like right away, and he chops off your arm. Your arm is gone. You don't get your arm back after combat. You have to go. You either have to like go to an ancient ritual and bring the arm of an undead man, and you could do that like once a playthrough, or you just start over. And this time you try to make sure he doesn't chop off your arm. So it's like I got addicted to that game for a while. Super fun if you want a very different take on it, but it can be frustratingly hard until you really learn how to play. But it's like a roguelike. You the most powerful tool you have in that game is your knowledge. Is when you go in, you start learning where weapons are. And
okay, so it is like my Labyrinth games where after a while I kind of know like the layout of the dungeon. I know like because there's going to be traps, there's going to be things and enemies that you're going to want to not interact with early on, and if you do, you pay a price for it. Like again, some of these games have perm death, so I could lose a character I put 50 hours in by walking on a panel that I had no idea that it was going to warp me to a way lower point, and then I just get ambushed and murdered.
Ooh. I love that kind of stuff. So here's the thing, like one of my favorite games of all time before we get back to Persona is XCOM 2, right? And that's not the exact same thing, but there is an element of like I've been using the, John Shootman. I've been using him as my point for this whole game, and 20 hours in, he gets shot by a guy and he's dead. And
because you ranked him up, you got him promoted. Because I mean, I'm assuming XCOM 2 is the same as XCOM 1, which I played back on PS1. And you lose a character, it's gone. Like that,
they're gone.
That's done. They're gone forever.
XCOM 2 is maybe the best strategy RPG, best strategy game to like ever exist. Straight up, it's freaking. It's like it's art. It's so good. I love XCOM. Also, if you ever are in the mood for like a bite-sized XCOM-like experience. It's not XCOM-like. XCOM Chimera Squad is like I think it's currently $3 on Steam, and it's like a 15. It's like a 15-hour playthrough, and they have all the components of like XCOM 1, XCOM 2, but it's like almost like a hero base. Like you have 6 to 7 guys, and they're all defined personalities, and they all have unique skills. But it's one of the most fun XCOM experiences I've ever played. So I highly recommend that.
Okay, so now to tie us all back into Persona, which I could probably do, I kind of want more difficulty stuff. Like, I'm waiting for those new technician levels. I know there's going to be another 10 at some point. We're going to get a bunch of, like, really hard levels here, and the enemy level caps are going to go up. I'm hoping those give me a hard time even as a spender, because I know some people kind of, like, joke about this and, like, well, the more money you spend, the less you technically play the game. I like having some challenging fights. I mean, I don't want to be able to auto everything. If I can, I'm going to take it. I'm going to run with it. Cool. But if you've seen some of my streams back when we like only had like Phoebe, I was literally hitting my head against the wall trying to do like Thunderous Blessing or Arcane Flame, getting those 3 stars with like Haruna and Tomoko. Those were some rough times.
No, hey, been there. I'm like, all right, come on. They're both level 45, but they can do it. Come on, we just need that all-out attack.
But that's the thing I like about Persona is, well, okay, so how did I go about solving some of those puzzles with what I had? And I had to look through some of the Personas, and Norn was like the best one for the job, because Norn's highlight not only gave you shielding, but it also gave the entire party a damage buff. So I was protecting my units, buffing the ones I had, and, you know, because you can't use Wonder to attack on any of those fights. Wonder has to basically be a support. If you, God forbid, you hit and he does too much damage, and then you lose the 3-star.
You can't get the 3-star. Yeah, that's why it's like even on the fire stages, the burn effect doesn't count as like
and
I'm like,
this is a detriment.
I'm like, shut up, bro. Quit burning them. We need them to burn for everyone to deal their technical damage. But you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. And like the curse stacks, right? Like I used Sophia and I got curse stacks on someone on some of the curse stages. I'm like, that didn't count. So that was all annoying. Yeah, you know what? A game that I think did it. I don't want to say well, but better is Dragon Quest Tact, because when they came out with like event stages or whatever, like I felt like the bosses went from like, oh, you can auto this, to like, no one in the fucking world could beat this fucking stage. What the hell were you thinking? Like, they got so hard, and it was like, you have to have this specific unit on this specific square using this specific thing. And like, that's too hard maybe, but
well,
the point is there was a scale that went all the way up, so you got to keep pushing yourself.
Well, there was a scale, and also it was not very kind of like new player friendly, because let's say, okay, well, there was a strategy to beat that super hard boss. It was have the unit, the free-to-play unit from 5 events ago, have him max leveled out, and send him in there to do a special thing that, you know, mitigates the difficulty of the boss. And if you don't have that unit, well, now you have to go and spend $1,000 to offset that.
And like, that's why I'm saying, like, I think it was too hard, but I like
brutal.
I like there being like what I could say for sure is Persona is not too hard. You know, it definitely could use a little bit more of that, I feel like.
And here's the sad thing though, is from what people are telling me, our Velvet trials are technically harder than the other version of the game. Mm-hmm. And even then, if you level up the characters and you like, you know, you work on them a bit, Haruna was uppercutting units with Phoebe. Haruna was doing like 25k damage, like back when Phoebe first came out, using her and pairing things up. And I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad. But if you have like a level 40 Haruna and you're taking her into Velvet Trials, you're going to have a bad time.
100%. Yeah, it's the fact that like the best thing that they've added to this game so far was I think it was the boss that they just added, where it was like you have to choose the amount of modifiers you want on there, and you can make it really dumb difficult. And the thing that I want is like when I'm saying I want these really, really hard content, I basically don't want rewards behind them other than some flashy cosmetic, like, I don't know, maybe even give Wonder a unique outfit for something super big.
Right, because you don't want people to feel bad about not getting it. Like, you know, here's the thing. I like challenging content, but I don't want somebody to be like, well, I just lost out on a bunch of materials to grow my account because there was no way I was going to beat this without spending money. But if you're going to miss out on like some cosmetics or something, I don't feel bad if you couldn't get that. Like,
Exactly.
oh,
Yeah.
it sucks,
That's
but
why it's like badges.
you
Just
know,
add harder fights for people that really want to do the super difficult fights, so the whales can't auto it, and give them a shiny rainbow fucking thing to put on their profile or something, or a new a border for their character. I don't know. Add the boss's portrait as a portrait you could use in game. There's lots of stuff they could do that would be kind of fun.
100%.
Dragon
They
Quest
could add
did
that
that
to
a lot as well, but I would like them to add that kind of harder content. All right, let's finish it up with an easy one, I think, for you, because you're more meta focused than I am. Who is the best 4-star unit in the game?
Ooh. I mean, my gut says to go with Leon. Leon has been, but then so, okay. Now, if we're talking like guild bosses, I'm gonna say Leon. If we're talking like overall game though, and helping you clear stuff like the Velvet Trials, I'm gonna say Soy. Soy's gun got me through some really hard fights, getting me a lot of 1-mores. So yeah, I would break it into 2 categories. If it's guild bosses, Soy, or not Soy, Leon for guild bosses, and then Soy for Velvet Trials, and then I would give an honorable mention to Yuki for whenever we have like an Ice Guild boss fight, because she just makes Fox so much better. Like those two perfectly pair together. It's like she's just made to make Fox better. So whenever you have a Fox fight, bring Yuki.
In the video tomorrow, I'm using Sepia for the Naga fight, Naga 5. I'm using Sepia, Soy, Yuki. And it doesn't feel like there's any inherent synergy, but they work so well together because Yuki gets this. Because every time Sepia does his follow-up attack, it gives Yuki a stack of bless. So she gets to use her 5 stack every single turn always. So it's like, but yeah. Like I ask you that question a little bit because even though I have my opinions, it is a little bit of an unanswerable question because it does require more context, right?
Right. It does require more content, and there's also like there's not going to be one end all to be all. Like if we were having this conversation 2 months ago, I would have said Okian because she's a great navigator and she does a lot. But Okian's already been phased out by Wind and Phoebe.
Yeah, I think it's like, who's the best 4-star? It obviously, like, it depends, right? If you're looking at the biggest, if you want to be the number one, whatever, SOS or guild boss, like Leon is going to be better than any of the other 4-stars in general because he's an amplifier to the actual meta unit. And if you want the best debuffer, it's probably Vino. And if you want the best damage dealer, it's probably Sepia. If you want the best healer support, it's probably Yuki. But like I would say in general, all purpose, the unit I always kind of am happy to have around, it's Soy. I think Soy is just kind of always pretty. He's a decent support. He's got decent damage for like what he is. He's got good ability to shred defense. He gets to keep people alive. He's got a badass gun that knocks things down. He's just kind of like always pretty good. And so he may not be like literally the best in every single aspect of that word, but I think like whenever you're in doubt, it's kind of like, it's like, yeah, I don't know, Soy fits in this team. He does a good job.
I would say for 75% of like my tougher Velvet clears, he was there. Because again, he was mitigating my characters getting killed. He was, padding their HP out, helping me get 1-more attacks, downing enemies, doing a lot of stuff that just helped out. Because there were fights where some of those units were hitting for like 9K. It was a ridiculous amount of damage. So you needed to like bolster their HP, get a shield on, and brace to even like survive. I mean, hell, there's probably people right now who still don't have 390 Velvet stars, even with everything we have out.
No, I don't. I think I could. It's something, but I'm kind of hesitant to do it because.
Well, what are you being held back on?
The only thing I'm being held back from my own mental state, where I'm just like, once I do it, I don't know what's left in the game to do. So I'm afraid if I complete the Velvet Trials and I'm in between patches, I will lose a desire to log into the game to do anything. So I always have Velvet Trials because I'm like, well, maybe I'll do a Velvet Trial today. So I'll look at them like, I'll come back tomorrow and do them. It's like a mind trick I play with myself, but I probably should because it is something I want to work on, but I've been playing a lot of games in general, and so I've just been doing my bare minimum. I honestly don't like these summer patches.
You're basically where I'm at with Silk Song, where I'm at the very last boss. I could go and beat it, and then I have to beat it again because I'm at like 98% clear. But after that, I'm done with the game, and I kind of don't want to be done with the game. That makes any sense?
I get to play it for almost 10 hours tomorrow on my Steam Deck. Don't spoil anything.
I'm not saying anything.
But I just got to an area where it says Act 2. Like, I just went to an area and it says Act 2. I'm like, oh, damn. I didn't remember.
Got a lot more to go.
I didn't remember I was in Act 1. Like, I might be 15 hours into the game and I was in Act 1. Plus, so.
Well, knowing your skill level, you've got about 40 to 50 hours more to go.
I am very bad at that game. Unironically,
60 hours to go.
I am terrible. I mean, I haven't had that many issues on bosses. Like, honestly, all the bosses have been relatively manageable under 10 attempts, but it's just going from point A to point B. My platforming skills are dog shit. I'm just bumping into every enemy flies and they're right above the platform I want to jump on, and I'm not patient enough to try to kite them.
Oh, because of the diagonal, which at some point I don't remember when. But there's a way to fix that.
I don't use I don't use that diagonal shit anymore. I'm past that. But I'm
okay.
Still,
so you're doing the downward then.
Yes,
Excellent.
yes. I'm still bad though. All right. I think that's about what we have for today. If you guys want to see Kage on again, just let me know in the comments down below. Me and Kage could always do another special episode when Bear's not available or whatever. And if there's anything you want to ask him, let him know. He'll probably be reading the comments. And if you throw shade, expect for him to throw it back. That's all.
Me never.
All right. Do you have anything else to say before I sign out?
I think realistically, anybody watching this, anybody coming into the game as a new player right now, just do as much as you can with the events. And I'm going to throw out a little PSA here. With the summer event, there is an item in the cash shop, or not the cash shop, the normal event, the Fortune Revelations for 60. Buy up as many of those cards as you can because those are selectors. Get those. Buy up as many as you can. Get the ink, get the coins, and then focus on the selectors. Don't worry about the material stuff.
Oh, those won't pop randomly. Those will go in your inventory.
No, those will select a. So even if you want to keep them for a card that doesn't exist later, and then use them, you can.
That's actually really good because I just assumed they were one of the ones that were going to pop the second I got them. Into random stuff.
I'm going to buy another one right now. How many of these do I have saved up?
Right, that's a good PSA. I will start buying them because I was skipping over them because I didn't even read. I always see gold cards. And I'm like,
you are a Persona player.
Yeah, the gold cards. I mean, I know what the bosses do sometimes. And once I get to level 5, I'm like, all right, let's read what he does for the video. He dies like a little punk. Let's go. It took me 74 turns to beat the boss, by the way, with my team. So I came in really close to the time limit there. But anyway, we're signing out. All right.
See you guys.
Love. Thank you for joining the voices of the Velvet Room. Bye.